Now let's dive into our featured story of the day and discuss what's going to happen when the US government plans to seize all the Bitcoin ETF BTC, according to Max Keiser. Let's break this baby down. We'll also be discussing the money BlackRock has already, $2 billion in investments lined up, according to Van Eck's head of research. So yeah, let's break this baby down. Max has been killing it on X with these tweets all morning. This is one he shared. Number one, government seizes the ETF for national security. Number two, before they send you your US dollars. Number three, price moves up to 100,000 per Bitcoin. Number four, you pay tax on the gain from the payout, and with what's left, you buy Bitcoin at a price $100,000 per coin higher. Number five, the price crashes. And number six, you're now sitting a net losing position from where you started. This was off the back of someone asked them, what's the point after that? You just buy Bitcoin with the USD. And I think Max is making a very clear point. So let's continue with his tweets. Kathy Wood shared, there is no counterparty risk with Bitcoin, unlike the banking system. Max says, oh, hold up. There is counterparty risk with a Bitcoin ETF, though. And he definitely makes a good point there. Someone wrote here, Max, this is only true for Bitcoin futures ETFs like BITO. Spot Bitcoin ETFs like IBIT are shares that are fully backed by real spot Bitcoin. Send your Bitcoin to us and we'll custody it for you, so don't lose them in a boating accident or something. Max responded, you're not protected against government seizure, and the US government plans to seize all Bitcoin ETF Bitcoin in the interest of national security. And let's continue. Source, a delay in Bitcoin ETF listing connected to coordination with possible anti-self-custody laws. I mean, Honey Badger don't give a what. Shout out to my Bitcoin Honey Badgers out there. And also, Bitcoin's implied hash adjusted price now is over 400,000 per Bitcoin. That's with the hash rate at 540 quintillion exahashes per second. We discussed this yesterday. The hash rate and difficulty continues breaking out to new all-time highs, which is a great sign, as the Bitcoin price tends to follow the hash rate. Now, also, quoting Max Keiser, I shared this. It got a lot of love. Already got 146 hearts and 39 retweets. This is transcribing an interview with Max Keiser. He was asked, what are your thoughts on BlackRock? And here's what Max said verbatim. BlackRock is terrible. They're one of the worst players on Wall Street. They're completely without morals whatsoever. Their business model is just repackaging stocks and selling them as ETFs. Their ETFs own more stocks than there are stocks, and they charge a fee for that, and they have incredible political influence, and they use it to make it easier for them to game the system. They are really a plague on capitalism. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment from Max on BlackRock. Now, also here someone wrote, the 5th and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution already protects your right to self-custody Bitcoin. And then Max points out, no, if there is a national emergency, see Patriot Act. Preach. Now check this out. I just find this interesting. This is someone shared this. This is coming from I'm on Smoko, but nonetheless, you can see it right here. Every single aspect of BlackRock is Jewish. Here are the founders. Larry Fink, net worth $1.27 billion. Then it shows you Robert S. Capito's net worth, $470 million. Susan Wagner, $422 million. These are the founders. Barbara Nowick, $224 million. Ben Golub, $160 million. And Ralph, $375 million. BlackRock is one of the 3 largest management firms that own 88% of the S&P 500 companies. BlackRock manages more than $87 billion worth of shares in fossil fuel companies. Aladdin, a technology system developed by BlackRock, unifies the investment management process. And as of 2020, Aladdin managed $21.6 trillion in assets. Now, here are the top 15 companies of BlackRock. It includes Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, P&G, NVIDIA, Tesla, Johnson & Johnson, Google, United Healthcare, Berkshire Hathaway, ExxonMobil, Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan. In fact, they even own roughly 9% of MicroStrategy. So they're juggernauts in the game. Now check this out. Vandalay Bitcoin Industries wrote, Max retweeted it, the government owns BlackRock and BlackRock owns the government. Both entities overlap and want a slice of the lucrative Bitcoin pie. There are many paths to do that and they will pursue all of them. Only Bitcoiners who own their own keys will remain sovereign. Remember fam, not your keys, not your coins. Now check out the headlines. Back in 2017, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. In 2021, why BlackRock is bullish on blockchain, but not Bitcoin. And then in 2022, BlackRock picks Coinbase to provide clients with direct Bitcoin exposure. Hence why we say, don't listen to what they say, but watch what they do, because they're fraudsters and hucksters and scammers. You already know that. Now check this out. Eric Voorhees wrote this: the most important result of a Bitcoin ETF will be that it dissuades or even prevents governments from the harshest potential treatment of Bitcoin, such as the impulse to outright ban it. When 50 million boomers own it passively, the political and economic damage from a ban will be significantly less palatable. It is no longer just an asset for shadowy supercoders, and it is absolutely a Trojan horse about to be pulled through the gates of Troy. Now, Max responded, it won't get banned, it'll get seized. There is a big difference. Now, here's some more tweets. Financial products under the custody of government-regulated institutions can be confiscated, stolen, if you prefer. This has been true throughout history. Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917, Gold Reserve Act of 1934, and many before for centuries. The Bitcoin ETF won't be any different. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. And as shared here, Max retweeted this and he was posting it many times on his timeline. Not likely, but not out of the realm of possibility if you read the fine print. This excerpt is from the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund Form S1 registration statement. Seizes in pounds, restricts access, are outcomes we want to protect our wealth from. The real Bitcoin is superior. Now read this for yourself. I'm going to read it out loud. The trust will dissolve if any of the following events occur. And the first thing we circled here, the U.S. federal or state regulatory requires the trust to shut down or forces the trust to liquidate its Bitcoin, or seizes, impounds, or otherwise restricts access to trust assets. So don't think it can't happen. A seizure can absolutely happen. You can't trust these mofos. So as Max says, you are not protected against government seizure, and the U.S. government plans to seize all the Bitcoin ETF Bitcoin in the interest of national security. Remember, they're the enemies of Bitcoin, so why wouldn't the enemies do that? Now, here's what Alex Jones has to share about BlackRock. The UN has officially adopted the BlackRock plan to forcefully establish a corporate governance system called the ESG. It does not matter what country you're in, it's all the same. Every evil agenda is coming directly from this group. That's why you see the open insanity of men competing against women in boxing across the world, which is breaking news if you missed it. USA Boxing is allowing biological men to fight women. You can't make this stuff up. Now, BlackRock will pull funding if the organizations do not follow the ESG directive. This is how they control you. Now, destabilizing the male-female ecosystem is key to their depopulation agenda. Eugenics. We are dealing with a death cult. He also tweeted, this is extremely important info. Know your enemy. If the people would just read what BlackRock and World Economic Forum are saying and doing, it'll be game over for them. They are openly pushing a dystopian plan for the world. The communist Chinese-style COVID lockdowns were just a beta test. Read the globalist plan, and to use a novel virus for the pretext to launch a planetary police state controlled by the UN, we are here now. And even Jimmy Dore actually had Alex Jones on the show, and they wrote here on this tweet, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, all controlled by the same group. Less than a dozen managers control 88% of the world assets and wealth, and they have said, we'll use this to control people. They want to cut off our resources. 100%. Now, also, I'm going to read you, I think I got two more tweets from Jones. BlackRock is the conductor of controlling over 85% of planetary wealth. 99% of the Fortune 500 take direct orders from BlackRock. Larry Fink openly brags about how he controls our behavior through the ESG regime. Their public goal is a 90% reduction in population. Do the math. How many billions of people does that mean are going to disappear? Do the math. Men like Fink and Gates must be exposed. It's time to take our power back. The lockdowns, the poison shots, the open borders, the new wars, the attacks on the family. It all comes from the same death cult. The parasite class has stolen the world and now wants most of us dead. They're coming for all of us. This is total war. Preach. And one more for you. People ask how I'm able to predict what's coming decades ahead of time. I don't have a crystal ball. I studied the globalists' own documents. The World Economic Forum and BlackRock battle plan is public. It's all taking place in full view. The end game is 90% population reduction. But first, they must smash the West, resist, or die. So there you go. And I'm going to read this one bonus story for you here, with BlackRock already lined up with $2 billion to invest in their ETF. Let's go. VanEck's head of research, Matthew Siegel, recently hinted that the spot Bitcoin ETF of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, could see a record-breaking amount of inflows upon launch. This comes as the approval by the SEC looks imminent. Siegel mentioned on X, base hosted by the media platform, the block that he heard from a reliable source said BlackRock had more than $2 billion already lined up for week one. The investment capital is said to be coming from existing Bitcoin holders who are looking to increase their exposure into Bitcoin. He quickly added that he couldn't be 100% certain of the info. However, it's a possibility considering that issuers would be looking to get investors that can inject huge sums into their respective ETFs. Now, Siegel went on to highlight how significant it would be if BlackRock's ETF indeed saw $2 billion of inflows in the first week of trading, saying that it would blow away their initial projections. They estimate that the spot Bitcoin ETFs can see $2.5 billion of inflows in the first quarter of trading. Meanwhile, they believe the market can grow to $40 billion within the next 2 years. And commenting on the possibility of BlackRock seeing this significant amount of inflows, Eric Balchunas noted that such an occurrence isn't unusual for the world's largest asset manager. And according to him, BlackRock is known for lining up and injecting big cash into new ETFs on the first day of trading. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less myself. That way, it registers the volume for them. Balchunas further noted that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF seeing $2 billion of inflows would shatter all records relating to first day and week volume for any ETF. And interestingly, BlackRock already holds the record for the most successful ETF launch, going by the amount of inflows recorded on day one, as outlined right here. The world's asset manager further dominates the top 10 list of most successful ETF launches. Balchunas clarified that those inflows were mainly lined up cash and not organic, as they were readily available before the ETF launch. He also mentioned that he got a second source to confirm Siegel's claims that BlackRock has a big day one lined up. So there you go. Meanwhile, the Bloomberg analyst provided an update on when the approval order from the SEC was likely to come, citing multiple sources stating the SEC is lining up all issuers for the potential launch on January 11th, 4 days out from today. So there you have it, my crypto fam. What are your thoughts on all of this that I just shared with you regarding Max Keiser blowing the whistle, sharing that they could have these sinister plans, US government that is, to seize all the Bitcoin through the ETFs in the name of national security? See the Patriot Act. You already know. What's your thoughts on what Alex Jones had to share, blowing the whistle on BlackRock as well, as he has been doing for a long time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.